Hello students. So today I'm going to take you to another topic of history, chapter 7, and I'm going to first start this concept with the help of a riddle for you. Okay, so listen very carefully to it. What is it that always runs but never walks, often murmurs but never talks? It has a bed but it never sleeps. It has a mouth but never eats. It runs all day without getting tired. What is it? Think. Right, it's a river. Okay, now talking about the river, why do you think most of the civilization they always set up near the river valleys, right? Think of Indus Valley civilization that you have already read about in class 6. That was also set up near a river, right? In the medieval time also, the Indian empires, they were actually fighting for ruling over Kannauj. And can you recall which fight was it? It was called the tripartite struggle. All right, so come to the point. Why rivers? Can you think? You are right, because with river we are going to have a very fertile land with us, and we'll be able to do a lot of agriculture over there. And do you know who are called the tillers of the soil? Yes, I'm right, the tillers of the soil. It is the farmers. And can you think your life without these farmers? If there are no farmers, there's going to be no agriculture. Without agriculture, there's going to be no food for you. So all the empires, even during the medieval era also, they gave a lot of significance to agriculture. And the most prominence of agriculture getting due importance was given in the Chola dynasty. Okay, now we will see that there's a river flowing near the Chola kingdom. And from the map, you will have to recall which is that river. It is the Kaveri River, which branches off into small channels before it empties into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so you should have the map in front of you and you will be able to recall that. Now, what happens? That when the river is flowing, it will be depositing the fertile soils on its bank. And when it is setting so much fertile soil, that area will be best for cultivation. And near the river Kaveri, the land is very fertile and you can grow rice over there. So the cultivation of rice actually happened at a very large scale in the Chola Empire. Now, although the agriculture had developed in the other parts of Tamil Nadu also, but it was only from the 5th or the 6th century that this area actually opened up for large scale cultivation, right? The forest had to be cleared off completely, okay? And the land was leveled down so that we could grow the crops over here now. The land grants were given to encourage agriculture. Remember, even the Brahmins were given the land grants. So now all those lands were given so that people could do agriculture over here. Embankments were made to prevent flooding. When there are heavy rains, what would happen? That the river would actually start flooding and it would destroy the areas nearby, destroying the agriculture also. So now they thought that rather than having such large scale destruction, we had to protect our crops. So for that, they got the embankments done. They built up canals, they built up dams over there. Okay, so that is how they had to regulate the outflow of the water. So they took the excess water and they built some small canals and channels so that that water could be carried to the fields. Okay, and in many areas they were actually growing two crops over there and not only one crop in a particular year, right? Apart from this, they were digging wells also over there, constructing tanks so that they could do rainwater harvesting over there. So see, they were very advanced with the technique of agriculture. Apart from this, it was also necessary to water the crops artificially. So they were deriving all these various ways of irrigation, like the building, the digging of the wells and the tanks, rainwater harvesting. All this was being practiced in the Chola Empire. So you can see how interestingly they took such interest into their agriculture, and the Chola Empire had actually built up a good economy with the help of their agriculture. Okay, but you should know that it was not only a flourishing of agriculture in the domestic area. Now, apart from these growing of the crops, they were also indulging in trade. Okay, and this agrarian reform of the Cholas, it influenced the irrigation of other countries of Southeast Asia. So think people in Southeast Asia, they were getting influenced, positively influenced by our Indians. So the trading association led to closer ties between the two countries. So what happened was, we used to grow the spices and the sandalwood, and we used to export it to China and some other East Asian countries. And from China, we used to import their ceramics and glasswares. So that is how the trade links between India and China actually grew. Now, I'll show you a small mind map so that you can improve your learning skills. So, this talks about again the steps taken by the Cholas to improve their agriculture. So, you can have a look and see how you also can create your own mind map and make your learning easier. You can have minimum 5 pointers, you can have more than 5 pointers for this particular topic. So, it holds a lot of relevance. So, give it a thought. Thank you. Hope you were able to understand the lesson.